I'm Ryan Shealy. I'm the Senior Director for Evidence Use at Mercy Corps. A colleague forwarded it to me, and so the reason this colleague forwarded the E2A announcement to me is that I do two things at my job: evidence use and research on participatory governance. And so E2A 2025 was about where those two meet. And so I knew I had to go.
Why did you even choose to submit an abstract? Why not just call us and say, let's partner?
Well, I mean, I think one is that this was a new partnership. And so I think that I'm a researcher as much as I am a practitioner, and we had research to share. We've been conducting research on participatory governance in Kenya for the last 4 or 5 years under the support of SPARC, which is a UK-funded research consortium. And that is really all about translating research into practice. And so this was a perfect time to really share this research. And I was really thrilled to be able to participate in the breakout sessions with many other researchers exploring similar topics from their own angle. I mean, I think one of the biggest challenges in evidence to action is in starting from listening. So many times I see researchers come from academia or INGOs in the global north with the answers already in their pocket. And so I think a key is to listen both to the answers, but even to what the questions should be. And I think that a lot of what we have been trying to do in our research and our efforts to put evidence into action is to start by listening. And I think that E2A creates that space as well to center voices from the global south, from the countries and communities where these problems are most pressing and where we have the greatest opportunity for action.
Which means that the voices that you're listening to are also important.
Yeah.
Right. What is one thing that you would recommend to people on both sides of the evidence side and
Yeah, I think that what I would most recommend is don't oversimplify the answers. So we can't be afraid of complexity and contradiction and ambiguity. And so real listening, real understanding means stories that go back, have deep roots, have multiple interpretations. And so we as we try to get answers, as we try to generate evidence, we need to appreciate and embrace complexity. But then when we communicate, we need to communicate as simply and clearly as possible. Even if we're communicating a complex reality, we know our audience and we communicate those messages. But too often those get mixed up, and the desire to simplify for the purpose of communicating leads us to imagine that reality is simple, and our reality is messy. And so we need to both embrace that and then communicate with empathy and clarity. I mean, I think what I'd love to see more of is facilitating even more creative spaces for interaction. So one of the ways I was able to participate in E2A was as a judge in the Agile Data Challenge. And I think that is an amazing space because it really went deep for a whole day. Young participants from across Africa came together to solve challenges with their creativity and expertise, and then got to pitch it back to a panel of experts from a variety of fields. And I think that type of space created new opportunities to communicate in both directions, for them to show their ingenuity and their passion, and then for us to ask questions, for us to learn, for us to provide advice and support. And so I think those spaces to connect take work. And so finding ways, whether that is in the large conference hall, whether in small breakout rooms, to find creative ways to get people to engage with one another is where the real learning and real engagement happens. So I think continue to build on all of these positive experiments to get even more bold in how we connect and how we collaborate.
Now, my final question for you. E2A 2026, are we going to see you there?
Absolutely. I know now I can't request that it will be about participatory governance every year, although I will put in that vote. If there was a vote, I'd put that vote in. But at any rate, my passion and my vocation is supporting evidence use. And so that is the mission of E2A. And so even if the topic moves to another sector or another area, I'm now an eager attendee and an eager supporter. So I look forward to seeing you all next year.